Welcome back to part 4 of the IMFS instructional video, which will show how to set up SKUs in the system. So to begin, I will enter the details of the first SKU, and then create a list of many others which can be imported. The first thing to add is the product or SKU code. Then the product description. Next, because we've already set up our vendors, the drop-down list should show all of them, making it easy for us to select a vendor. Similarly, we can select a buying and selling unit from their respective drop-down lists, which leaves the final field in which to record how many sell units there are to every buy unit. Once these details are entered, click the blue Add or Plus button to add this SKU to our list. And there you have it. Now to import a much bigger range of SKUs, click on the Import List button to begin. Because we don't have a list yet, we will need to create one, so click on the Create or Open Template button. A message advising that a template has been created will then pop up. Clicking on the Open SKU List Template button will open the newly created SKU list with the correct headings in the correct order. So now I will go ahead and create a list, ready to import. Once a list is ready, it is simply a matter of following the same procedure as with vendors. Once again, the same safeguards that were demonstrated with the vendor import process are also a part of the SKU import process, so that duplicate or incomplete entries will not be allowed, and nor will entries with unrecognized UOMs. The only difference is that the SKU import process will also create an alert to advise of unrecognized vendors as well. These will either have to be deleted from the list being imported, or added to the vendor list in the system via the vendor setup process previously shown. One other safeguard that has not been demonstrated yet, and which is active for all setup procedures, is the prevention of the wrong data from being imported. When importing data, the files being imported must have exactly the same headings as those shown on the import screen that pops up after the Import List button is pushed. For example, to import a file containing SKUs, it must have the following headings: 1. Product code. 2. Product description. 3. Vendor. 4. Buying unit. 5. Selling unit. And 6. Selling units per buying unit. When a file is selected for import, the system will automatically check to make sure it has the correct headings and structure. I will demonstrate what will happen if the vendor list is accidentally selected instead of the SKU list. When the system detects a mismatch, it shows a message describing the exact problem, and then shuts down the import process. To fix this problem, the correct file needs to be selected for import, or the relevant heading of the file being imported needs to be changed to the correct structure before continuing. The file can be opened by using the Open Files icon in the main menu as previously shown. Once our SKUs are set up, we can move on to set up customers, for which we will need to return to the main menu. Exactly the same process is followed in setting up our customer list, as with all the previous procedures. Now that we have set up UOMs, vendors, SKUs and customers in the system, we can move on to demonstrate how the data section of IMFS works, which is where current information is supplied to the system for it to use in creating a forecast, and various reports that rely on that forecast. This will be explained in Part 5.